All right, here we go on this Tippler Talk Tuesday, folks. All right, one thing I never talk about, and if I have, here's a remedy for my problem. Nesting material. Now, whether you use plastic bowls, dog bowls, or ceramic bowls like this, a pigeon ceramic bowl, the holes are for ventilation, which is a good thing. They have holes in them. But if you ever run out of nesting material like I have today, I was going to set out a couple of nest bowls for a couple of my pigeons, and I ran out of nesting material for my nest bowls. So, next best thing. I went ahead, I had some play sand for my pavers. I tend to put play sand in between the pavers so they could sturdy up the pavers. Well, I've also used play sand for the loft inside as a flooring cover. It doesn't allow the droppings to stick to the wood, and it makes it easier to scrape, and it's non-toxic, it's safe, and if they sell it for children, you could put it in your nest bowls or in your loft. So here's what I have to do. Since I have the holes, I got me some painter's tape. Now this is the blue one, stays on pretty good. All I have to do is fill that up with a little bit of sand. And the reason for it, to keep those eggs in place. Now, I've seen pigeons lay eggs in the sand and raise the young in the sand. Won't hurt them one bit whatsoever. I've done it. I know other guys that do it. And here it is. Check this out. Now, you can go a little deeper, but I just want enough to keep the eggs centered when they're laid. And that's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and, now I picked up this frog tape. Is better than the blue tape, the green tape. Non-toxic, easy to work with. This one just has 2 holes. Cover that up a little bit. When breeding season is over, I'll go ahead and clean it up. Start all over again. Now, this is just to hold the sand in. See? No holes. Go ahead, set my sand in here. These 2 are done. I can set these out. And I'll move on to the next one. Now, this is just to get you out of a jam. Right now I'm in a jam. Normally, I buy nest pads. Now, the nest pads that I normally order, I order them in bulk. I finally ran out. I normally keep 100 on hand. And every time I do 1 round or 2 rounds per nest pad, I throw them out. Okay? Now, with that being said, you get the idea. I'm gonna take it one step further. 7 dust. Kills all kinds of insects. And it's really not that harmful to the birds when you're breeding. I don't want any type of insects on the birds. So I'll go ahead and sprinkle some of this within the sand. You see it there? What I'll do is mix it up. And now it's in the sand. No bugs will survive. Same thing. This is an added extra layer of insect repellent. Safe for the birds. And I've seen guys sprinkle this stuff on the birds. Doesn't really affect them. I guess too much of anything could affect the bird, but in this case, it's in the sand. It's covered up pretty good. No bugs will survive in here in the sand. And that's it. 3 done, real quick, it's real simple. Now, in the past, I've used pine needles, fresh pine needles, not old ones. The brown ones, they bring in insects. The pine needles do repel somewhat the insects, but sometimes they tend to be a little sticky at the tips, the stems. I've used tobacco stems. I've used wood chips. I've used nest pads. They're made out of like coconut husk. But those can get costly. Right here, I think if you have the nest bowls like this, cover them up real cheap. The sand, the bag of sand, play sand that is, you can find it at Home Depot, Lowe's, real cheap. And there you have it. Mix it up. And the sand, now, if you leave a bag of sand out in the weather, it does attract moisture. But if you have a bag of sand from Home Depot and it has moisture, let it dry out, put it inside like your garage where it can open the bag, let it air out, and it'll dry completely. Once it dries and you have it nice and dry, you can put it in the nest bowl. And that's what we're talking about today, Tipper Talk Tuesday. Just another way of finding a bedding for your birds. When you're in a jam like I am, I don't have any nest pads. I don't feel like going out and picking up pine needles. So I did have the play sand, and I'm using play sand for my nest bowls. And listen, if it's safe for the kids, it's safe for your pets, it's safe for the birds, and you're good to go. Once the birds go down on eggs, I'll do a follow-up video of the birds sitting in the sand like this. There you have it on this Tipper Talk Tuesday, folks. If you get nest bowls like this with holes, cover them up. And the work is done. You can peel this off when you're done breeding, wash them out. Real simple. Now I can introduce these nest bowls. The birds are not going to eliminate, they're not going to get rid of the nesting material. Sometimes you'll find if you put stems, tobacco stems, if you have an open loft, the pigeons will rob from one nest and fill their nest. And that's a problem. With the sand, bag of play sand's fairly cheap. $3 something a bag, I believe. $4 something maybe. And there you have it. All right, folks, on this Tipper Talk Tuesday, nesting material. Cheap, inexpensive, quick to do. Now I can set my bowls out. Done. All right, see you on the next one, folks. Oh, and one more thing, folks. When you go to Home Depot, don't pick up sand that's made for mixing in cement, for laying blocks as a structure. Don't do that. Don't use that sand. And do not go to the beach and pick up beach sand. Beach sand has a lot of parasites in it. And you'll see your birds, they'll pick at this, but it's not going to hurt them. But if they eat that other stuff, like sand that has, I believe, lime in it for building structure, no good. Or beach sand, no good. Play sand is the key. Playground sand, safe, non-toxic. All right.